Hey there, welcome back to Golf Karting TV. My name is Matt, and I'm thrilled to have you back here today for another awesome episode. Today we've got a golf cart rat rod. Awesome, we've got Doug here today. We are looking at a sweet, what we'll call a rat rod type of a cart. Doug, why don't you introduce yourself? Tell me where you're from and where this cart started from before you started playing with it.
All right. My name is Doug Cowie. I currently live in Hernando, Florida. I actually obtained this car when I lived in Nashville about 9 years ago. I got it. It was an old golf course utility cart. I kind of found it hidden, tucked behind the maintenance building. Picked it up, brought it home, and I wanted to do something different. So me and my friend Karsten, we were looking at it. We said, "Hey, let's build kind of an old T-bucket rat rod." And the first thing I did is this is gas. I pulled the twin cylinder engine out of it and I actually built a subframe to where the engine was pointing like a car engine. And then we're going to run a drive shaft with a little hump and do it that way and make it real T-bucket style. I had too many issues trying to figure out how to make the clutch work on a 90-degree jack shaft in the back. So kind of abandoned that idea and then just continued, put the engine back where it was and kind of continued to what you see here.
Awesome. Well, Doug, why don't we start there at the front as you started to describe a little bit? Tell me what you've done, and we'll just kind of walk around and get the details here.
All right. Okay, so the first thing I wanted to do was bring the axle forward and lower the car. On the older marathons, they made two different size front springs. Don't quote me to this, but one was about 17 inches and change. The other one was like 24 and change. So I went with the 24-inch springs, which allowed me not to modify the frame any. This drop axle actually is a front picker mount off a Yamaha golf course picker. These brackets, I welded them together, and then I cut off the original spindle mounts from the front axle, mounted them on, lined the front end, and then I took a spring plate off a 2001 newer EZGO, and I was able to use the front steering and everything. So basically, I just built a drop front axle, and
Wow, that's
a little,
awesome.
little bit of extra support welded in there to help out and look cool. And
Yeah, and what about
from
those lights? What do you have on the lights?
Well, I was trying to find some old style round lights like the old hot rods had, and honestly, this small LED was the best I could find. I was kind of hoping for condensate again for looks, but nothing really worked great. But those are super bright. So I got the two lights, and these are actual turn signal units. So the car does have turn signal lights, brake lights, all that fun stuff in the back. And I try to use as much golf car as possible because it just makes it more authentic in my world. And of course, I hit all the wiring best I could because you want to clean it up. The only thing not
Yeah.
really golf car on the front end, other than the lights, would be the spindles or the hubs. These are actually trailer hubs. 2,000-pound trailer hubs use the same bearing diameter as the EZGOs, which is, as everybody knows, EZGO spindles are a 1-inch spindle, and trailer hubs are either 1 inch or inch and an eighth. So I got a pair of 5-lug trailer hubs, and that allowed me to go to some tall, skinny tires in front that had a nice look to it. So these are just off the
And so
shelf.
that's got it. That's what I was gonna say. So those are actual, not those aren't golf cart wheels. Those are trailer wheels.
Correct. They are high-speed
That's
trailer
awesome.
wheels. Originally, when I first built it, it had back in the 70s and 80s, golf cars came with 18 850 by 8, but they were smooth tires with a single rib around them. They didn't have a tread. They were straight. And with those tires originally on it, the axle was only half-inch off the ground. This
Hmm.
car was much lower. The only issue I had with that was if you understand easy goes, the brake pedal drops and you will drag the ground with trying to stop the car.
Right. That's no
So
good.
so I decided to bring the front end up, and all I had to do was just go with these cooler tires, which look 100% better.
Very
And
cool.
it just brought off the whole look. And the other thing really on the front end that I did is on the original body, they had that plastic cap that came on here, which obviously isn't going to work. So this was squared off. I trimmed it, and I took the trim off another EZGO that holds on the rubber trim, and I welded it to the front. So this is all EZGO style trim, where on this year you didn't have that. You had the cap, but it was too bare
Yeah.
looking. So that was the other modification really to the front that I did
Yeah.
other than stock.
Love it. Love it. So take me towards the back. What do you have? I see you've got a stick
All
shift
right.
there and some of that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. Tell me what
The
you've got
reason I
on the
have
inside.
this, yeah, the reason I went with the stick shift, honestly, was because on the rear end, it's a newer rear end than this year car. This is a 98, is when the GXTs were available up to. And GXT was a utility car with a dime plate body. This dime plate is all original, with the exception of the bed that I made. I no longer have the original bed that came with it, but it was really tall, really wide, and it was just a monstrosity. And it just didn't go with the look. So I built this bed from scratch. The bed on this is aluminum, where the body itself is steel. So I went there, kind of made a wood floor to it on the back. Again, a shout out to the older hot rods and trucks with a couple little runners, just kind of going with the look on it. The back, the tail lights and everything, that's all original. EZGO GXT, with the exception of I just added the turn signal bulbs into each corner.
And then tell me about those rear tires. Those look pretty massive.
Yep, these are, we got these from a project that we were building 16, 17 years ago. We built a golf car with like a 3-foot lift, and we were looking for the biggest offset wheels we could find. And we put these on here, and these are 24s. We ended up going with like a 32 when it was said and done. So these were left over, and I've just held on to them for all these years. I believe these were something we got from Nivell back in the day. It was just something they offered rim wise, and I believe these tires are greens mower tires that you would see in a ZT zero turn.
Yeah.
And so I've just had them this long, always waiting for a project to put it on. And when I first built this, this is one of the first things I did. Is these tires they fit the project perfectly. Now I did have to space them out a little bit to get them out there that way, so there is a bit of spacers under there, but between the spacer and the offset rim, it sets it off just nice.
Yeah, very nice. And then what do you have running everything?
It is the original 350 Robbins / Fuji engine. This is what's referred to as a pre-MCI. Later years, there was an MCI had a different head, different ignition on it. But this is all original, but the rear end is newer. It's a newer rear end because the original rear end was bad. And because of that, the original car had what was called a double cable shifter, and it had to be retroed to a single cable shifter. And then the problem that I had is forward was reverse and reverse was forward on the shifter. So to fix that is I went ahead and I did purchase this shifter, which is really cool. And it allowed me to work better with the shifting on it. And it just, again, it gives it a better retro feel.
And when you said the rear end was bad, what exactly did you have to fix in that back end?
Well, I ended up just replacing it with this new unit. This unit is out of I want to say 2003. It's been a few years since I did it, but it's just a newer rear end because the other one, that's the reason they parked it in the first place, was that the transmission was just torn up.
Got it. Okay.
So that's the reason I got it. Rebuilt the seat, obviously. Recovered them with some covers that I had. Nothing too fancy on that. But the bed, I made the whole bed from scratch. Basically built the frame so the seat would close and work with it. And then I sheeted it with dime plate aluminum, painted her up. And when I drive, I'm basically looking right here. This is kind of the area I'm looking out of. And it just kind of gives it that
reminds
little...
me of I don't know your age, but reminds me of the Munsters.
Yep, 100%.
Herman Munster driving.
The old go-go switch.
Yes, that's fantastic.
I had 2 mirrors up here. These mirrors are really cool, but what I find out is if you don't pay attention to your garage, you'll break one. So I ordered a pair of steel ones now. These are plastic. I just they're bicycle ones. But again, it kind of gives you that cool little nostalgia. I was trying to stay with that 20s, 30s, rat rod, T-bucket type feel, but just do it with a golf car, with as much golf car as I could possibly use.
Right, and you did a very good job with that because it definitely has that feel and tone and all that stuff. So that personality comes across for sure.
Well, I appreciate that.
Awesome. Well, Doug, thanks so much for sharing this with us. I know it's a passion project, so we appreciate you taking the time to share with us what you've done here.
Well, thank you, sir, and I appreciate you, and I appreciate again everybody that gave me support while I was building it. It was 100% positive, and it just, kind of makes you feel good that you did something that everybody kind of enjoys.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, thank you so much. Well, if that's not a cool cart, I don't know what is. That thing is very cool. I saw that on Facebook and reached out and had to get coverage on that and feature that thing. So thanks, Doug, to everything that he's done. And again, he thanked everybody who had given all sorts of comments and feedback and input. Even the name Green Goblin came from somebody online. So thanks for an awesome online crowd. Hey, if you haven't already, make sure you like and subscribe and share and do all the great things to make sure that you catch all these videos. We do these for you, and hopefully you enjoy it. We'll see you next week, Wednesday at noon, for another episode of Golf Karting TV.